I'm just weird. So it's just, if I look over at you all of a sudden, just
It's
like,
okay.
It's
okay.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right, Kelly?
Hey, taking life on life's terms, right?
Yeah, it's live on
So can I do Billy Bob's head? Jim changed his name. Jim, I'm sorry. That's my brother's name.
All right, we are here. It is Friday, and that's just how we start the show. This Pink
Friday.
Cloud, Season 2, Episode 32. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. With me, co-hosting, I try to get her in all the time. She's a really tough person to get a hold of. Very busy, very Jamaican-esque jobs, many jobs, right?
Many jobs.
The lovely Stephanie Ann. She is LCDCI, yoga instructor, roller derby queen, Myth America, skate straight advocate, Stephanie Ann, everybody.
Hey.
Stephanie. Thank you.
And with me, my guests today are one, Megan Gillian. God, I knew I was going to mess that up. And then Amber Mitchum. Correct?
Yep.
Amper.
Amper.
Ampersand. Yeah, but so, and y'all are with, okay, I gotta reel you in already. Y'all are with Nexus Recovery, which is recovery for women, both recovery coaches. So I'm excited to have y'all on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hey, real quick before we get to the good stuff, we have to get to the other good stuff, which is our sponsors. We are brought to you by SummerSky.us, which is
Summer Sky.
.us.
That's right. Roll with it, Amber. Roll with it.
And that number is 888-857-8857. Once again, that is 888-857-8857. They are a rehab facility out in Stephenville, Texas, and it's where I went. It worked for me. I'm a year and some change. So
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it really is. To be honest, it is.
It really is.
It really
whole
is.
miracle.
I ain't lying.
Right.
But also, and then our new sponsor, the boys of recovery.
The boys are back in town. Yeah,
That's
Ricky
right.
and Josh.
Yeah, exactly. Love those guys. CardinalHouseRecovery.com. CardinalHouseRecovery.com is a sober living facility.
Gotta have her.
It's
Hey.
okay. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's a sober living facility where you can get some long-term care, aftercare, like after you go to rehab. This is a good solution if you need some accountability. Let me give you that number real quick. It's 918-998-4223, and that is CardinalHouseRecovery.com, and they're a sober living facility, and we love them.
We do love them, and
There
they
we
are
go.
LGBTQ friendly.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Holla.
Holla.
Hey, so Stephanie Ann, it has been a long time since you have been a co-host.
It has.
I think it was the last time you were on was what, like 2-3 months ago?
Probably at
Something
least
that.
like 3 months ago, yeah.
All right, so what's going on in the world of Stephanie?
The world is Stephanie as it is today. Well, I'm currently waiting on my licensure from the state.
Okay.
Yeah, finished grad school. Just wrapped that up at the beginning of the month.
Okay, and you are grad
yeah.
schooling for?
Counseling.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, love
So
it.
rehabilitation counseling covers all disabilities, and mainly why I got into it was for co-occurring issues, substance use, and yeah, help everybody. Everybody deserves to have improvement in their life. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you could make it. And
Thanks for
if they
having
want to
me.
catch you live doing one of your yoga things, they can always go down to Skate Street, right?
They can come to Skate Street
Every Saturday?
Every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We have yoga. And as I say, yoga is for everybody.
There you
so,
go.
just need to breathe.
Yeah.
You breathe in, you can do yoga with me.
All right. There you go. Yeah. I've actually seen some friends that had injuries and just sitting on and just breathing.
That's right.
Yeah, just enjoying it.
That's it.
Just getting in there and celebrating their mindfulness.
That's right.
Right.
Celebrating that clear mind,
There you go.
mindfulness.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Well, okay, so I'm excited to have y'all on. I love to put the spotlight on good things that are happening in the community. So, yeah, y'all both are recovery coaches at Nexus Recovery, which is a women's facility. And that address, just real quick, is nexusrecovery.org if you want to look that up. But these ladies are both coaches out there on the front lines working. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for bettering society.
That's right. Flex.
Yeah, exactly.
Flex. Flex.
But yeah, so what I like to do is just kind of get a little bit of your background, and then we'll get to all the good stuff that's happening at Nexus. So, Megan, would you like to go first?
Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
So a little bit about me.
Megan, you just talk into the mic like, there you go.
Bring it to
Perfect. Yeah.
So I want to hold it or something.
Well,
Do it. You can.
You can go lead singer
There
style.
you. Okay.
There you
This
go.
is it.
No.
Okay,
So
fine.
I think I had my first drink. Well, I did at 15. And we were out in a limo. It was just a crazy night, and I remember feeling like, yeah, this is how I'm supposed to feel. You know, just the anxiety lifted, and everything felt. You know,
Everything was right with the universe.
You know, I acted a fool. I think I even, peed in the limo. And,
Sweet.
Hey, you didn't.
it was my aunt's birthday.
Okay,
you know.
cool.
Happy birthday,
Here's
Auntie.
Here's a little urine for you.
Yeah, there's a little urine for you. But so that was memorable, no doubt. But after that, we started drinking on the weekends. It was just a thing my brothers and I did. I'm the oldest, and I have 2 younger brothers. And
It's hard. I'm the oldest too.
yeah, it's a struggle. Struggle's real. So we just partied, we partied every weekend, and I didn't have a problem. I had no idea that I was an addict at that point. Because
Well,
it was just on the
it takes you a
weekends, right?
while, right?
No, it was just on the weekends, and I was the last one up at night, the one drinking the most, There should have been red flags. There was no red flags.
Okay.
Because I was a responsible child.
But you were a functioning alcoholic, as we like to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, as years go on, I am pregnant with my first daughter and in nursing school. So I graduated nursing school and got my RN degree when I was 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
Got married the same year.
Oh boy, lots of change.
It was a lot in 1 year, Life goes on. I'm still drinking on the weekends. We're partying on the weekends. Just like anybody else did in a small East Texas town,
Do you want to? You can give props out. I always like to know if I know the town.
Emory, Texas.
Emory, where's that?
It's
on Farm Road.
East Texas,
It's
off
Farm.
20.
If it's FM something, and
so I don't know if you know where Canton is. It's 9 miles.
yeah.
Heard of
yeah.
Canton. I've yet
Canton-
to
well,
be
Canton
there.
is
I know
what,
you can
first
get
Monday
puppies
out there?
there.
First one.
Yeah.
Puppies there.
they have a
That's
pup.
what I know about
Get
Canton.
Yeah, let's put some sunshine on the fact that they have a puppy mill going on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so
There's all
Emory,
kinds of
Texas.
puppies.
Sorry about that.
No, there's all kinds of
Right.
puppies, right?
Right.
So, gosh, y'all just threw me completely off, and I'm
Emory,
thinking
Texas,
about
East-
cattle and like.
No,
No, you got
we brought
married-
you back. That's
married.
what
So
that's what I
anyway,
like
we're
to do is
married.
paint a picture for everybody. And
So I got
Hey,
married.
let it just go where it goes to.
We end up. I'm working as a nurse, and we are mudding one weekend, and I'm the driver, and we're in an ATV. It's a Polaris Ranger, no doors on the sides, but so we're mudding, and I have a couple guy friends with me, and I rolled it over on my leg, and it broke
Ooh,
it like
jeez.
this.
Yikes.
With my leg bent. Think about my knee, like.
right.
Was it a compound? Did that puppy pop out of the skin?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Not a compound. Okay. But it broke the bones in there and tore all the ligaments and cartilage and all that.
Good
so I had
enough.
a couple of reconstructive knee surgeries, and I got on pain medication.
Hey,
you know?
surprise. Yeah, they
That's
they
that's
prescribe-
shocking, Megan. They
they
put
pre-
you on pain pills.
Like so much.
Yeah.
So
Right.
anyway, I'm a nurse, so they're like, she can handle whatever. Let's just give her all the
she
drugs.
can handle whatever. She's a nurse. I like.
We know that she's got this.
Right.
So 6 months into this, I'm still on crutches because, it was time. There was different phases. You have to
Sure.
immobilize it this way, and then, it was a whole thing. So by the time the 6 months was up and they were like, well, you're done with physical therapy, so you no longer need the pain medication.
But I like it.
It was like,
Right?
Good. But I want it.
Right.
I in my mind was like, I still need this because I'm still in pain. So I was
Right.
justifying in every way. You know how we do that.
Yep.
So they cut me off. So I got a new doctor, you know. And
Yeah, doctor shopping.
Yeah.
doctor
Right.
shopping.
I get you.
I'm still working as an RN, and a husband at the time is drinking daily. And
What
taking
year
pain
was
pills.
this about?
This is about 2006.
Okay, so when you could
Ish.
still kind of shop around
2005.
before
I had
the
my second
opiate
daughter in
crisis
2006.
really like took, you know, precedence, because it's always been there, let's be honest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when people were still kind of getting, not the people getting the scripts, but the doctors just giving
it
them
just
out
wasn't
too.
as big as it is now, right?
Sure. We weren't aware.
Right.
Yeah.
We had like what
Right.
Mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had
Sure.
Dare.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mad,
But they didn't
the
go into
founder of
details, so-
Mad actually has a DUI. So interestingly enough, right? I mean, we
So-
can't judge.
That's
We
wild.
can't
Man.
judge, y'all.
Never judge. Never.
Right on.
We don't know.
So that happened. So you got hooked on like opioids and
You know what? This
and-
had to have been like 2008. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
thinking
Oh,
in
you're
my
good.
mind, like,
That's okay.
well, you know, it was a long time.
Yeah,
That's okay, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just to like give everyone like an idea, because back then, like today, you still can kind of do it, but back then it was really easy for you to
Oh,
do
man,
it
you just
because
go
there weren't
let
really
'em know
any.
you
Yeah,
need
there
it.
was no
There were no
knowledge
regulations.
Of,
Doctors weren't having the government climb up their asses.
No, it was starting to get to
regulate
the
that.
point where they were right after, I think.
Right.
this
Yeah.
happened.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it was starting to get to the point where they were regulating hydrocodone a little more.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was buying them then off the streets as well.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it wasn't enough. You
Mhm.
know, I needed
Sure.
more. And in order to just function.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had no tools. You know, I didn't know how to deal with any of my emotions correctly. So I was reaching for whatever I could get to, you know,
Sure.
numb those feelings.
And change
Because
it.
then you have a lot of guilt and shame in that as well. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm
yeah.
a nurse. I'm a mom. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
supposed to be doing
yeah,
things
I'm
I
supposed to
should
ha-
know better.
or I'm supposed to have this under control because I have all this
I mean,
going
my
on.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
my life should be just peachy right now.
Right.
And I was miserable.
Mm.
You know, I was in a lot of fear. And I mean, I grew up an anxious child, but it just got worse. And then my job became very stressful and then obviously unmanageable eventually, right?
Mhm.
So for 4 years, I did home health. And I was at the end of that is when this all kind of took off. So I get divorced because I'm
Uh-huh.
not happy, you know.
It's him.
We already
Get
have
rid
our
of him.
second.
Get rid of
We
it.
already
Toss
have our
him.
second child at this
Yeah.
time, my second daughter, and I'm just done with him, with life.
Sure.
So anyway, we get divorced, and I start dating a guy I went to high school with, and he was doing meth.
Oh.
You know? And
Perfect.
so I'm like, so I
That's
I
better.
actually get with him, and I go to rehab to get off of opiates. I went to Nexus for the first time.
Okay.
Nexus
I only
alumni.
stayed 2 weeks. He came and got me
Oh yeah.
after 2 weeks, and then.
Little AMA situation.
We went and had a drink right after because
Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic. I
Right,
just
you're
drink on the
feeling
Oh,
weekends.
yeah.
you're feeling better. You got
I
2
literally
week
just
detox.
drink on the weekends.
It's all
I'm never
good.
taking pain pills again. I was so sick, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Pain pills are the devil. Everything
And I don't
else
even
I can
like
moderate.
meth. You know, in my
Right.
mind, I'm like, I don't even like meth. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna, you know, I'm good. Like
You're
I've
right.
got this under control.
Totally.
Because that was miserable, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna ever put myself there again.
Hmm.
So obviously, I started drinking and doing meth, and the relationship became very abusive, toxic, physically abusive,
Mm-hmm.
obviously emotionally abusive, and 3.5 years later, I am 88 pounds and
Holy crap.
literally just want to die. You know, obviously,
Yeah.
like, and everything that he did or that I put myself, every position I put myself in, I felt like I had deserved it.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you know, obviously I'm in the streets off and on. I'm like, I am putting myself in positions no human should ever be. You know?
Well, and that is the result of that's where many women find themselves as
Oh,
a
yeah,
result
of
of a
course.
substance use disorder.
Of course,
What
yeah.
did I do to myself? I deserve this. That is the that's the shame that is not spoken out loudly enough of a
Right.
person who's been in that situation. Not only are you in this position of not being able to climb out of it, but now you're in a relationship where you're being told how crappy you are.
man.
And if you would just act right, then everybody would be happy.
Exactly.
So you're lucky to be on the other side of that,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Gosh,
some
100%, yeah.
some people, many women, never see the other side of that. They lose their
know,
lives to that.
And it got very
Absolutely.
close
Yeah.
to that, you know.
Right. Well,
I
88 pounds is
remember-
not a good level
not.
of weight to function
No,
at.
at one point I just stopped eating and I didn't move
Wow.
from the couch for an entire week. And
Wow.
it was really hard
Yeah,
to
sure.
get up and walk after, you know what I mean? Just, I was just so immobilized and sick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember a couple times him putting guns to my head and I really literally was begging him to pull the trigger. You know, I just got so down. And I was, you know, I'm supposed to be a good mom. Like, I am a good person. I was a good nurse. I'm supposed to be this responsible human, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm a perfectionist. So all of that is just like turmoil in my head, you know?
Right.
My spirit was just broken. So I got away from him because I got pregnant with my youngest daughter and went to a 10-month treatment facility because I had already gotten 2 DWIs at this point. And so I know I need help and I need long-term help. You know, in my mind, this will fix it all. Get me away from the abuser, get me, you know, clean and sober and back to my kids.
Sure.
And so that lasted a good year after that 10 months. It gave me a great foundation.
Now, where did you go for the long-term care?
Bowie County Women's Center in Texarkana.
Okay. Cool. Shout out
And
there.
yeah, you
All
have
right.
to have like a charge to be able to go or whatever. So
Oh, okay.
I
all right.
qualified.
All right.
So
Like,
Well, congratulations! You have a charge. You qualify.
yeah, I qualified. So
well, no, but that's great that they
Yeah,
have
I'm
that.
like, let me
That's
write
great.
this
That's
resource
great
down.
that they have that in place. And I always
It's
like to
amazing.
point out the resource because I mean, you know, I mean, if you're pregnant and in a situation like that, where do you go?
well, so I wasn't. No, I'm sorry. Let's go back a little bit because they don't take you pregnant.
Oh, okay.
oh, they
Nexus does.
don't. Okay.
Okay.
Nexus.
But
Nexus.
We'll go
does.
back to Nexus.
Okay. Yeah.
Because no, go ahead.
No, I was thinking that Nexus is the only facility in Texas that takes pregnant
Texas.
women with children.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, I
there's-
love that.
And there's only one in Dallas and one in Austin.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
That's a big problem, y'all. For anybody who votes in the state of Texas, y'all, pay attention.
Pay attention.
The population of the state of Texas, like I have goosebumps because I'm both irritated and lots of reasons. But that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because women, well, I know we make up at least about 50% of the population.
Right.
I know we're the ones giving birth to all the humans.
I personally
So
am
far.
partial to women. Yeah.
And well, you know, great. That's great. So with that in mind, please vote for more rights for us and for treatment.
That's
Right.
in the state of Texas,
Please.
y'all.
So I wasn't pregnant, you know, when I went there. I had just had Lyric. So I missed her first Christmas in there.
By
and
the
her
way, I
first
love that
birthday.
name.
Thank
That's
you.
a good name.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's fitting for her too. So I missed her
Big
first
shout out.
her first birthday and
Yes,
Christmas. And I have 3 daughters at the time. So but it did help me get away from that situation. I will give it that.
Well, I'm glad you got away from that
Yeah, for sure.
situation.
Thank you. And then I went back home afterwards and I moved in with my ex-husband again because I wanted all 3 kids together and I want to make this happy.
You want to have the picture
I
perfect
need
family,
my-
right? Yeah.
I need my family, right?
Sure.
Everyone
And-
needs support. So that's fair.
But he drinks every day still, right?
That
so,
sucks.
and anyway, I had already surrendered my nursing license while I was in this treatment facility. CPS was in my life at one point too, and they closed the case.
Good.
So all of this is happening while I'm in this 10-month treatment center. You know, a lot of good, but and a lot of sad, obviously, because I
Yeah.
surrendered my license.
Sure.
And so I think that this is going to be picture perfect. You know, I'm just going to I have it all together now. I know what I need to do, and I want my kids. So a year later, I am drinking again every day, and I'm working for this doctor, not as a nurse, but as, you know, a medical assistant.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, of course you need Xanax and Thanks.
Oh.
because I was stressed out and
Thank
had
you,
anxiety. And at the
good
time, I
doctor.
really, again, thought that
Yeah.
I could do this. I had
Right.
reservations. You know, I really thought, man, you know what? I really am an anxious individual. Let me just get some help.
Let me have some benzodiazepines to navigate.
Let me have the drink and the pill.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had already messed around with some benzos prior too, so so I didn't make it very far. I didn't attend meetings. I wasn't working with a sponsor. I didn't work my steps,
Sure.
I didn't do anything right. I went back to the old places.
You didn't have any support to
yeah,
stay
in a small
abstinent
East Texas
or
town. Like, what kind of support? I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to dog it, but
yeah,
there's not a big community of addicts, and
maybe
there's
you
not
just weren't
resources.
drawn, or maybe there weren't enough women. There might have not been a draw.
It
like,
was
there
5
a
old men in this
community
meeting
of
and me,
women. Yeah, and let's be honest. Like in all way, like men can support women, women can support men, but at the end of the day, everyone needs somebody to kind of have an example of more fitting to what you can relate to, like
Absolutely.
kids,
100%.
right? That's a big
It's
thing.
huge.
Mhm.
It's huge. Yeah.
Menstrual cycles, that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
That's just,
I mean,
it
we
happens
just
every
need you
month.
to know all of
Whether
that.
anybody knows about that or not, if that's
It's
a
a
shock
thing.
to you, women, like uteruses will bleed every month. So
wow.
it happens.
Thank you.
They have tampons in this bathroom, as they should. Every bathroom should have tampons like they have toilet paper. You have to wipe your butt and, okay, anyways, derailed. Go,
Sweet.
Meg.
All right. So, yeah. No, I love all of that. It's all
Yeah,
facts.
yeah. it's
You know,
facts.
part of life.
Facts.
Part of
Right.
life.
It's part of
Yeah.
life. It's
Facts of
so.
life. Yes.
Long story short, I end up with this crazy older musician guy,
Hooray.
and I am out of my mind. Back out there because of the guilt and shame. Like, I didn't get it together for my kids yet again. My mom has my youngest, my ex-husband has my oldest two, and I am here this POS in my mind, unable to get it together. Why can I not figure this out? And car was stolen. I was drugged. I was in such situations. I got an assault charge, another DWI. I was just really,
Yeah.
really out there.
Hurting. Sounds like you were really hurting.
I was in a lot of pain, and the people who loved me were in so much pain too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We just had somebody on last week about to talk about the families in recovery, because I think that's a huge part.
huge.
Because I mean, they suffer just as much as the addict does.
They
so,
do,
yeah.
and they have no control.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I think it's really important to point out the fact that there are no angels and demons in this story, right? Like the person who has the substance use disorder is not a terrible, big, bad, nasty human being.
Exactly.
The family is, everybody is, when a family functions, it's functioning either in dysfunction or it's functioning. And when this person with the substance use has the substance use, that family typically, there's already dysfunction in the family, right? It just isn't as loud and proud as, say, a drink in the hand.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Or a pill down the throat.
Right.
But it's still there in behavior. And so to kind of take away this whole bad versus good, black and white imagery of substance use disorders and co-occurring mental illnesses is really necessary in the conversation, especially for people in recovery, because you're not a bad mom, Megan. What I keep hearing is this woman trying to figure it out because she loves her kids so much.
I
And
love
that's
it,
exactly
Stephanie.
where I
I'm
was.
so glad you came today, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's like
No.
dropping that LCDCI.
Just
knowledge.
dropping some
Yeah.
of that,
No, I like it.
yeah,
No, I do.
stuff,
I-
that
you
love
know.
and compassion, because we freaking need it.
At the
Every
time-
human, right, Brett? Brett
Right,
doesn't have a mic, but
Brett,
Brett.
hey, shout out to Brett.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
Brett, bro.
Love Brett.
Doing well.
All right, so
So
all
anyway,
this is going on. Yeah.
long story short, I
Yeah.
get to this point where I'm like begging my probation officer to send me back to Nexus, and I'm like at the very end of my lifeline, 9 lives, like
Sure.
a cat, and they
Right.
are over. So let's
Right.
Let's get it
There's a
together.
snort.
Uh-huh,
Got
the
it
So I
in.
went-
We're good.
Stephanie. So I went to Nexus, and
Uh-huh.
man, that was 3 years ago. It was my clean date was 8/18/18.
Woo!
I mean, like,
Happy
3 years, 3 years ago.
birthday to you.
Not was, but is. Sorry.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
you know it. That's all that matters.
Okay. 3 years. Yeah. So anyway, I'm super excited. I did everything different. I went to Nexus.
Yeah.
I got out.
You got a little game
went
plan.
to
and-
Oxford.
Yeah. Oh,
and
cool. Yeah,
So I
I always love to also put a spotlight on Oxford House. Oxford House, if you don't know, it's a sober living, kind of self-governing kind of
Shout
house.
Not kind of, all
kind of
Oxford in the
self-governing.
house.
And they have all types of different
They
houses
also
for
have-
women and children and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, and
women
that's
and
where I was.
children, and so that's great that you can get recovery in that environment, but still
Yeah, no, it's
have
amazing.
and this is the key about sober living is having that accountability because
It was
you
huge.
were functioning without any accountability because
Right.
you had nobody to answer to. You had no UA, no BA, and it
I
was
had,
just
probation. I revoked my
Right.
probation. I've been to jail about 5 or 6 times. I've been to
Mm-hmm.
prison once in the midst of all this,
Right.
right? And so, I needed that accountability. I needed everything you could give it all to me because I needed it.
Well,
Right.
it's that support
I
and
felt
stability, and
completely
it's that
worthless.
love.
Yeah.
It's that love because you're with other people who have walked through that same deep
Pathway.
dysfunction, right? That deep dysfunction. And it's like, oh man, I see you. It's cool. You're going to
Exactly.
be okay. And you're looking at this person like, I barely know you, but I believe you for some weird reason.
There are some texts there that still remember me in detox naked in the middle of the night,
All
having
right.
night terrors,
Yeah.
the whole works.
wow.
Right.
And so it's a whole beautiful
Yeah.
story.
Well,
because today,
and I mean, I think it's fantastic where you are today, and we're going to get
you.
to that and
Yeah.
talk about Nexus. But that is an incredible story, and I don't want to, Amber's over here getting bored with us.
yeah, we've got to switch it off.
It's my turn.
I can talk.
Get a girl.
No, but it's all good.
No.
So,
Never
I appreciate.
apologize.
I always thank you for sharing.
Yes,
for
you're
sharing.
welcome.
Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, but so Amber, let's
Hey.
get to your goodness.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh, the goodness.
Oh my goodness. The goodness.
So, it's hard to make a long story short. Put your
is.
life in about 5 minutes or whatever. But the thing is, I have been through a whole lot. The choices I've made are, that's just what it was. I grew up. I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters.
Can you name them all?
Yeah, I can name them all. I can name them all.
right, cool.
Do you want me to?
No,
Here's
all good.
my dad. Shout out to my dad.
Hey, Pops.
But and I'm not the oldest, I'm not the youngest, but I am in the middle. I'm third to the oldest.
Oh, boy.
And so,
Jan Brady.
here the deal is like I got overlooked a lot as a kid. Maybe that's how I felt. And so I could really get away with anything. And I could, I was a tomboy and I still kind of am, but and so we ran the streets. We were never home. We were, out just running around, and we did whatever we wanted to do.
What town was this? I always like to know the town.
I have lived everywhere between Tyler, Longview, East Texas area,
Oh, yeah.
all the way to Dallas, Pleasant Grove, Oak Cliff, Garland.
Go.
You
and
got
so-
that. You're
go.
working that.
I
You're
have-
working that
I
math,
just
girl.
I just move around. I
Right,
get
yeah.
around. They're like, "Where are you from?" Because my
Okay.
accent will change, here and there.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I sound real country, and sometimes I'm like
Real
from the
hood.
hood,
Yeah, real Oak Cliff.
I like it.
It's
I
true.
did detect a little,
You're-
a little country hood in there.
She's
right.
a little bit of
Yeah.
country and a little bit of rock and roll.
That's right.
There you
A
go.
little bit of
got
country in the
I
hood.
might be, born a biker chick. You never know.
All
Right, there you
right.
go. Cool.
But
That's right.
the
All right.
thing is, yes, I started on alcohol and actually smoking a lot of weed because that's just what we did in my house, and then and everywhere else. And then it turned into pills somewhere along the way, and then it turned into LSD for a long time. And then it turns into pills again, and then always just everything. I just want to have fun, fun.
Girls
and,
just want to have fun,
that's it.
Amber.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really wasn't trying to numb too much back then. I think it was more like just having fun and being a kid, a teenager.
Yeah.
And then it got into where I had had my daughter when I was 23. And then after that, I think they did something when they gave me an epidural. It messed my back up, so that's where the pain pills came in. Right then and
I
there.
have heard this story before with other
it's
women.
The same kind of thing, but at the same time, like then I started taking them like every day. You know, just like 10 a day. And then I started selling them a lot. I mean, I don't want to tell on myself.
Well, you got to support your habit.
But yeah. And so that's a big part of that. We did a lot of things that were illegal, and to get to where
Hey, by the way, we all did.
Yeah.
So welcome.
But I mean, I don't want to incriminate myself here. But but the thing is, I got pregnant with my son. And I thought, I can't take these pills. It's just not healthy for the baby.
Yeah, not a
good idea. So then I found me a methadone clinic, which I did not, know anything about. I just knew that it might be healthier for the baby. So
that they could help you.
Yeah,
I know Steph can put in some knowledge. You can drop some knowledge on the methadone clinic, right? I mean, not personally, but I mean,
I was like, it is healthier than taking the pills. And there are women who, that's the option, right? Harm reduction
and MAT is what they call it as well, right?
medically assisted treatment.
Yeah,
and if you're watching this and you're pregnant right now and you are having an issue with taking a substance that is harmful, not just to you but to the fetus, right? You can absolutely go to a methadone clinic, or they're everywhere, thankfully now. I mean, shoot, we've got them right here in Frisco and McKinney. They need to be everywhere. It needs to be available to folks.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Once I
your experience. What's your experience with it? Yes.
So after you have baby, I make sure that you taper off right away, because the Medicaid pays for it. Unless you're willing to dish out a lot of money after the baby's born,
right?
Then you gotta get yourself off of it. You gotta do it the right way. For me, unfortunately, they just cut me off so dry.
Wow.
So I ended up in the hospital, and I had to get pumped for all these liquids. I don't know. I was severely dehydrated,
right,
and I was about to die. I had a stroke, and I was about to die.
Wow! And hold on, how old were you when you had the stroke?
I was 26.
Wow, that's insane to even think that somebody at 26 would have a stroke. Yeah.
Well, when it depends on how high the dose is that you take and how your body is. Everybody's different, but for me, that's where I was at, and so. Then I hated methadone. I hated it, and I still don't like it with a passion, but I know how you have to use it for it to work. I didn't know that back then. They didn't give me much knowledge at all.
There was no instruction book.
You were like the trial and error, and now maybe they learned through the experience of stroking out some of their patients.
So I had my son. And then he was born addicted, and I had to watch him kick it. So that was really tough for me and my husband.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And so, but after that, I had absolutely no energy whatsoever. Like I could not. I was pulling him with a rope, and he was in the bouncer, and I would tie the rope to the bouncer, and I would pull him around the house with me. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but that's real talk right there, right?
And I wasn't, a bad mom or anything. I was just I didn't have.
I am not judging. I'm thinking of the resilience in this woman that is tying a rope to.
Here we go.
So
and I had my daughter too, and so they need stuff. They need to be fed. They need to be bathed. They need everything. You know what I mean?
Diapers.
So a friend of mine came over, and I was like, I just have no energy. I need your help. And she's like, I got some of this. So the world of methamphetamines opened up right then and there. And honestly, I was super excited at that moment. You know what I mean? And I was the super mom from then for about 6 months, you know?
Yeah, right.
And I was getting all of it done.
Hey, kids, mom doesn't need to sleep anymore.
It's
ever again. It's how the women in the 50s did it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
amphetamine in the pill.
Yeah.
Man, and
true.
so you know,
true.
I got into the world of trying to make money because things fall. You know, your house starts falling down. You know, your kids they don't even know who you are anymore. I mean, it's like this whole other world. And from then, you know, we moved around a bit until we got to Longview, Texas. And there is when I really got deep in the darkness, is because money was my addiction. And so the drugs kept on coming because that's what the people wanted. So let's make some money. But then I would smoke my money. I would smoke it all up. And I would have everybody high in my house, and that's how we lived. And they took my kids, and you know, it was just a whirlwind downhill. And then it's kind of a blur right after that. But then it's like, okay, I remember I'm sitting in jail. I got right before I went to jail. They put me. I was affiliated.
How old were you when you were sitting in jail?
27.
27.
I mean, I've been in and out.
It was
okay.
it was like, but it was like
time,
it was like a year after you had the stroke, right?
Or no.
No?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Few years.
All right. Cool.
So we're doing dope this whole time, and it's like it's hard to tell my story like straight away.
I got you.
You know, I was affiliated. I got raped. I was pregnant. I had to have my baby while I was locked up. They said, you have to have this child clean and sober. And I didn't want to tell him how it happened. And I didn't want it. And I thought it was a girl the whole time. And he came out a boy, and he looked just like me. So now he's like a big part of my heart and soul. Like the way that he was born. And the way that it all happened, they said, you can go to Nexus right after. And I said, okay, I'll take the deal. You know, just give me a deal. And so I didn't have a due date. And so I waited for him to be born. And then they put me in a single cell for, because I had some other tickets. And I had to leave him at the hospital and had my mom and my dad go get him. And they didn't know his name for about a week. They couldn't visit me, and so I was like, "Get me out of here, get me out." And then as soon as I get to Nexus, I feel like a space cadet because I'm just sitting there like this.
Right. Well, first off, you're out of prison.
I'm out of and then they bring me my baby, and I'm like, oh my! Like now I have to be a mom. Now I have to learn how to function sober, and I had been sober. Being locked away, but it's different. I
always say forced sobriety.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like,
out in the open, needing tools.
Yeah. I don't know what I need at this time. I couldn't even focus on one specific thing, and so I learn how to. Okay, this is my world right now. Me and him. Me and you. Me and you. And so I learn how to take care of just him.
Yeah.
And from then. I get out and I get my stuff together again, and that keeps me clean for a little while. It doesn't do like, you get all your. It's when I get content with everything that I will fall.
Okay.
And I know that now, but before I didn't know that it's when I get all my shit back together. You know what I mean? And now what? I get my job, I get my car, I get my house, I get my everything for the kids. The kids are all happy.
Not a care in the world,
and
right?
And then we fall because we're good. And so what do we have? Now what's going on? And so then it's like a reoccurring thing. So I realized my pattern after a while. It took me 3 or 4 times.
Right, sure.
But
and also I like to point this out that relapse is a common part and a huge part of recovery. So
but it doesn't.
I mean, you learn from it every time.
Have to be
every time.
But yeah, it's a learning process, and I always tell my girls, I'll say, tell me something you learned different this time. Like, what is the difference? Where are we going wrong at? Where do we take that left so we can realize it the next time that we are in this situation? Because that's where it's at. You get content, bored, and happy, and then what? As an addict, we need some excitement. we need something to go off of. Like, help me. You know what I'm saying? We're, we're always like grabbing for the next high.
The next high.
Like,
yeah,
right
exactly.
now,
You said it.
Right now, like, I'm high on life because I'm in where I'm at today. And I have everything that I had prayed for, you know? I have to give a big shout out to Lake Point Church because
Lake Point
because
Church.
of the fact, you know, it was Celebrate Recovery, and that's how my pathway.
And that's what worked for you.
I went back in Nexus. They took us every single Wednesday, and they don't do that anymore. But back then, that's where I found my pathway. My first time in Nexus, it was, you know, strictly NA. Or strictly a certain way. And then I got introduced to CR, and I was like, okay, there's something different because it didn't work for me.
Well, I love what you just pointed out, that it's a multiple pathway.
It is.
It's a multiple pathway. There's not just one. I mean, certain pathways work for certain people, but hey, why not have every tool in your toolbox?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, if you think about a human being, like a lot of what you described, and you described it as an addict, is really just describing a human being, right? Humans are always seeking a level of comfort. And there is a lot of discomfort in life just in general. And the difference between somebody who has a substance use disorder versus someone who doesn't is that that person just gravitates towards a substance to find that comfort level instead of finding that comfort within. So it's, you know, it's like you said, you found your way through that pathway of Celebrate, and that's a beautiful thing. People get to find their pathway through 12-step. There's Smart Recovery. There's Recovery Dharma. There is there's churches. There's, you know, there's step work. There's counseling. There's medical assistance. There's all kinds of things because as a human being, we're made up of a biopsychosocial, right? There's biology. There's psychology. Right? There's like all these things.
Hold on. What was that word again?
Biopsychosocial. Say it with me.
There we go.
Biopsychosocial. That's it.
We got it.
Forget supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We're talking about the biopsychosocial, y'all.
That's right.
So then you meet up with Nexus, and then you're here now, and you're a recovery coach. Now, before we get to all the good stuff with Nexus, I just want to hit the sponsors because that's what I do.
Sponsorship.
Right? We've got www.summersky.us, and that is a rehab out in Stephenville, Texas. I went there. I got a year and some change sober. It's working for me. Love it. Good people out there. And that number is 888-857-8857. Once again, that is 888-857-8857. Also, there is Cardinal House Recovery, and they are in the DFW area. And if you go to cardinalhouserecovery.com, they are out there. They're actually a sober living facility for long-term care for men. For men. And then, it's actually right above my head. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And that number that you can reach them at is 918-998-4223. Once again, that is 918-998-4223. And we're just having a good time. Listen, Stephanie's over here just having a party. Yes. Hey, but also
always a party in here.
I also want to point out, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is just thispinkcloud.com, because we're going to start going just live on YouTube only. So Facebook is going to still be there. The Facebook Live will go away.
The Facebook
Live.
Facebook Live.
Yeah, that will go away. So be sure and jump over to our format at YouTube, thispinkcloud.com. And other than that, now we get to shed some light on this beautiful thing that's happening at Nexus.
You're beautiful. It's true.
Thank you.
So where do we want to start with this? Like, what? Okay, so let's say I am a woman out there, which I like to think of myself as sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, we will embrace.
We also encourage
kidding.
that. I mean, we encourage you being who you are, right?
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, y'all are trans friendly.
Yeah, we are, and we're very. You know, it's a very diverse.
Right. Okay. Well, cool. So
company.
So basically. Walk me through, how it works, maybe like, a little bit admissions and stuff like that. And how do y'all, you know, if somebody comes, how do you know if they're a good fit and all that good stuff? Like, I mean, do they need to go to detox first? Right. And
well, you know, the detox part of it will come into play with like opiates, alcohol, benzos, mostly, right? Because those are medicated assisted detoxes.
Yep.
And so, we have a detox program. We have inpatient and outpatient.
Okay.
And CDC. The CDC is our Child Development Center, and it's for the children.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because Nexus allows women to come in with their accompanying children.
That's great.
And get treatment, which is huge.
Which they create a program like the one that we coach. The program basically teaches the women how to live with a certain schedule, and to live and have your child and pick them up at this time, and you go to your groups every day and pick your kids up. You go to dinner at a time. You spend time with your kids every night at this time, and then you go to bed. And it's a set schedule, and it helps with when you get out. It helps your brain continue like, okay, I got to do this. This is what we're doing. Like basically you have a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know,
healthy habits.
Yeah, healthy habits. And just all about creating new habits. That way you can replace your old ones.
Right. Hey, and I want to really quick give that information out real quick. If anybody wants to see if they're a good candidate, or actually if you're a family member and want to talk to somebody, you know, they can walk you through it. It's nexusrecovery.org, and that number is 214-321-0156. Once again, that's 214-321-0156. And no, but so y'all are real quick. Y'all are located, I know, on La Prada, right?
East Dallas.
Okay, East Dallas, yeah. And then is there other locations, or is it just the one main location?
That is campus, right? The other locations are just RSS, which is Recovery Support Services, and then our program, which is Nexus Generations.
Okay.
And our program, and so we're off Buckner, right down the street.
Sure.
But we're not, we're not clinical, we're outpatient. So we personally work with women before, during, and after treatment. And these women are parenting, pregnant, or women with children.
Yeah.
So that's our specific area.
Mm-hmm.
And then the RSS side works with adult women.
Right.
But we, at Nexus, we like to help the whole woman, right? So therapeutic.
Yes.
It's all about working what's going on inside versus the habit with the hand.
Sure.
Right.
You know, and
like
so
it's
that's
not the drug or the alcohol usually.
The groups consist of a lot of psychological,
evaluations.
Working on who you are as a person.
Figuring out who you are,
what's wrong,
right?
And how can we fix it or change it and get it out? You know, like basically ripping the Band-Aid off, cleaning it up, and healing. And sometimes it takes a minute, and sometimes it takes a lifelong
Peel that onion,
thing,
you cry.
Yeah.
So we're here to coach them during and after. I mean, before, during, and after.
You support them,
Support is a big deal.
Like, hey, it's cool, it's okay. You're gonna feel this, and you're right, spot on with that.
I have a question.
We have a lot of. We have the ability to help in a lot of areas.
I have a question. So y'all help with the detox, but then do y'all have like a long term or like an aftercare? Or like is it 30? Is it 30 days, 30, 60, 90, or what is it?
It depends on the program you're in.
The detox usually about 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
And then depending on what you're coming off of.
Right.
And then you are able to jump into one of the two programs, depending on if you have a child that's coming. And if you don't, then, they determine that in the office where you go. Or you can try to go to the PPWC, which is the Pregnant Parenting and Women with Children. Mm-hmm. And they have a longer program. It's usually around 60 to 90 days. The adult women's program usually lasts about 25,
It's 28 days.
28 days. Depending on your needs.
Right, yeah, of course. Y'all aren't going to kick somebody to the curb if
and then
like
after that,
struggling.
You have like IOP, which is...
Intensive outpatient.
Intensive outpatient.
Right.
About And then with RSS, Recovery Support Services, we can do long-term coaching.
And then
so there's no
then you
time
just stay
frame.
with us.
Sure.
Forevermore
Yeah,
if you
it
want to.
sounds
you
like
know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you become one of
And
us,
then you
right?
can become one of us.
And
Yeah,
then you
like,
will become a coach with Amber and Megan.
So you have to be out of Nexus for 2 years,
2 years.
in order to be employed by Nexus. But Nexus does employ a lot of alumni.
Well, and how cool
I think
is
that's
that?
great.
Because
And
it's
it's
like
nonprofit.
functioning human beings, right? Like
I mean,
doing all
we're
of it.
living proof, right?
You
that
are.
Yeah, I love
you
it.
absolutely.
I love
I got
it.
the
Living
goosebumps
proof.
again.
Yay.
We are living proof
The good
that this program
ones.
works. But we also want to say that we have our Tuesday Sober Mom Squad.
Sober.
Right.
Oh, represent.
Shout out.
Represent.
Shout
Stephanie,
we
write
need
that down.
Stephanie.
I'm
We need-
shouting
we
out
need
Sober
Stephanie to
Mom
come do
Squad.
yoga.
Yes, this is. I've been meaning to get out there to
She's
do
really
the
gonna come
yoga.
do
I
that.
know, so I'm like,
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
this about the show, and what I try to do is always unite. Obviously, put a spotlight on good stuff, but also unite the tribes.
For
because there's
sure.
that Frisco set, that you
Yeah.
got that far north set, and then
Well,
we're
with,
East
with our
Dallas.
program,
Yeah.
you have to have that. You have to qualify, right? You
Sure.
have to be out of Nexus, PPWC,
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Most, pretty recent.
Yeah.
I mean, within the year, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, so I've been meaning to get down. Megan and I have actually, prior to you collaborating this,
Yes, thank you,
her
by
and
the
I
way.
were
No
speaking about me teaching some yoga. Well, actually, she reached out and put something in a group, and I was like, hey, can I come down and give those women and children yoga? And she's like, yeah, for sure. So we've just been trying to seal the
trying to
deal, get a
collaborate.
date down,
We-
couple of little blips.
Now we'll
but
we'll
yeah.
put contracts in front of y'all and make you sign.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
let's
my
make it
blood.
official.
Right. Yeah. No,
Sign in
that's-
blood.
That's great.
Teasing, just teasing.
I mean, so just either one of y'all want to go? Tell me maybe just a real quick story of some inspiration of how you have helped somebody. Like maybe your favorite wink, client that you
We
maybe
wanna make
helped
you cry.
without names, but something
no
good
names.
to inspire hope.
I have one.
Go for
Go ahead.
Well, we can't name names.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
But this person, she came through detox twice. I worked in detox for almost a year.
Right on.
And I pretty much did, vitals, the whole 9 yards. And I had her in there, and then I got out of detox, and then I guess she went back through there. She went to one of the programs, and she get out, and now she's in an Oxford house, and she's doing her 90 meetings in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
She's about to step on the bus. She's scared of the bus, But we're working on that.
Take the bus with
So
her.
she's doing. I'm about to. I've
Yes,
just got to
I'm
find some
dead
time.
serious.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. As a coach, that's exactly what we do.
That is, yeah.
And I want to make sure that I, take one day out of my week to help her do that, and it's
For
coming.
sure.
That's
But
good.
I just want to say that she is doing excellent, and
I love
there's
it.
2 or 3 of them like
Doesn't
that.
it make
but-
you
Shout
feel-
out, you know who
doesn't it-
you are.
You know who you
You
are.
know who you are,
but
girl.
doesn't it feel great to
Yeah.
actually have a job where you can actually help somebody out?
Absolutely.
That's what I love.
It feels
I
so
get
good.
I get excited about the show because I'm like, oh, cool, man. I get to talk and maybe help somebody out,
That's
man. And I
right.
love it.
So we're here to remove all the barriers.
Yes.
So to any pathway of recovery,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So I have women and CPS cases are dropping off and
Thank
getting
you.
closed and
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is
you
great.
know,
Beautiful.
people
That
are
is beautiful work.
seriously
there is
working a program,
success.
right?
Yes, there
and I
is.
work Narcotics Anonymous. I'm a member of
Right.
NA, so.
Mhm.
You
I
represent.
can't really encourage them
Represents.
to go a certain way, but I can
Right.
lay out different pathways.
Right.
Absolutely.
You're a resource broker.
I
That's
am.
exactly right.
So we do
Different
meet
flavors
them
of
at NA
Kool-Aid
meetings
out there,
as well.
y'all.
Right.
We meet them at NA meetings
grape
on Thursdays
cherry.
and Fridays at noon.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot thank y'all enough again for coming out and making the time for us. I mean,
Yeah,
thank you.
see how easy it was? It was
Yes,
quick. It
I
was
mean-
quick,
easy.
quick and painless. Real quick, that contact information is nexusrecovery.org. Once again, nexusrecovery.org. Their phone number is 214-321-0156. If you are a woman and in need of help, please reach out. Yeah.
Please reach
sure.
out.
Please come
You
through. For
sure.
deserve it.
You are
You're
worth it.
Right.
You're worth it.
I do. I
Yes.
feel like I'm just taking an estrogen
Let-
estrogen
I
shower
love it.
today.
Oh, Kelly. Oh, sweet Kelly.
Where are our t-shirts?
Hey, no. I got you, girls. I got you. Speaking of T-shirts, if anybody wants T-shirts, you can go to my DJ website. That's djkellyreverb.com/shop.
Wicked what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
welcome.
but so let's go around the room for
Glad
shout
she was
outs.
here.
So we're gonna do shout outs real quick. Steph, I know you want to shout out to Skate Straight.
There's the camera.
And,
there it is.
yeah,
Hello.
there you go.
Here.
Shout out to Skate Straight. Shout out to Recovery Dharma. Shout out to all the mental health professionals in the world. Shout out to every substance use disorder facility, co-occurring and otherwise. All the trauma, all the people working with the PTSD. All y'all are beautiful and lovely.
Exactly.
Recover one day at a time.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And Megan, please.
Hi, shout out to Narcotics Anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
my home group, Eastside. Shout out to my sponsor, Jamie Hollum. Yeah, shout out to all the women who are like me.
Cool. Love it. And Amber.
And I have
Amber.
shouts out. I have shout out to my family for the big support role they play. I shout out to Lake Point Church,
Lake Point.
and everybody there. My sponsor, Alicia, I love you. And everybody at Nexus staff, our boss lady, she's cool
yeah, she's
too.
amazing.
Love her.
Can we say her name?
Lindsay Malhotra,
Lindsay.
Nikki Prince.
Shout out, Lindsay.
Nikki Prince.
Those
We
are our
have,
people.
you
She
know,
just had 5 years at Nexus. I saw it on my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love
it.
Well, cool. Thank you guys
Shout
so
out to
much.
you,
Four
Mom.
down.
So much for coming out and making the time, making the journey out to Frisco today. People, I know that one because I'm actually kind of by y'all in East Dallas, so it's a little bit of a journey. I get it, but
No, it was
thanks
cool.
for coming out. And anytime y'all have anything coming up, special events or anything like that, I'd love to plug it on the show. And you know,
Right.
and
Sounds good.
if you know, I always like to say, people in recovery, thank you for what you do.
Amen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Brett, take us out, please. Remember, hit us up on that YouTube channel. That is thispinkcloud.com. Just hit subscribe. It's free. And then remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was,
We would all take too many.
You'd kill your liver.
Kill it. Thanks a lot, guys. There we go.
That's good.
good job. Now, do I regret anything I said?
Drop a bomb now.